What's good, guys? Welcome back to All About Arsenal. And today, Arsenal kick off at Old Trafford with a very, very good, important victory. I know there's quite a lot of talk that Arsenal didn't deserve it, but let's begin to break it down. So, Arsenal start off their Premier League 25-26 campaign by going all the way up to Old Trafford, and we know how difficult that stadium is to play in. And a few things that you have to consider. Number one, Manchester United are coming off the back of a terrible season where they finished 15th. I believe that's their worst ever so far since the establishment of the Premier League, the Barclays Premier League. They've got three forwards. They've got Sesko, Mbeumo, and they've got Cunha. These guys, Arsenal always found it difficult to play against these guys when they were playing for their respective former teams. So when Cunha was at Wolves, Mbeumo was at Brentford, were players that always cause us problems. Then to face all three of them at the same time, you can imagine what an experience that was for Gabriel and Saliba, and I'll get onto that, and I think they did well. A lot of people start saying stuff that Arsenal didn't deserve to win the game. We defended well, we took our chance, we scored it, a very clear-cut, blatant chance. Why should we not win? We took our chance and we scored. I don't see what the people are saying. So all of this stuff about Arsenal don't deserve it. How many times did Chelsea play boring football, quite frankly, but they will get the result? Sometimes it's not about how you play, it's the result. And to be honest, if we're trying to chase a title after 21 plus years, at times games are going to be a bit ugly, games are going to be a bit messy, games are not going to look pretty, and we don't need to look pretty all the time. We need to put the ball at the back of the net, which we done. And it's the thing a lot of people are not clocking and not realizing. Going to your rival stadium at Old Trafford where these guys are pumped up. Ruben Amorim has got a point to prove, right? He's got a point to prove that his 3-4-3 system works, and it almost pretty much did against Arsenal. They did dominate parts of the game, but people have to see it like this. Arsenal were not chasing the game. Even when Arsenal were trying to go forward, yes, the opposition, Manchester United, did a good job. They did snuff out Saka. They did make our attackers really, really quiet. But we were not trying to go forward like that. We were not chasing the game. Man United are at home. They are trying to impress their fans. They are on a hype. Arsenal are one of their biggest rivals. They've got a statement to prove. They've got a point to prove, So it makes sense that these guys are going to come out all guns blazing against Arsenal, and they did, and to their credit, they did play well. It's a huge upgrade, and let me tell you, when Arsenal played today, yes, up front we were flat. I do think we were making poor decisions. Odegaard was much better, although sometimes he did fluff a few passes, but we were much better. Martinelli was good defensively, going forward, nothing. Saka, I was surprised. Saka, he didn't have a good game. He was locked down, he was doubled up on as usual, but he didn't have a good game. Victor Gyökeres didn't have a good game, and that's because he didn't get a lot of service, but it's going to take him time to settle in. It's his first Premier League debut. We saw how he did in the preseason, his last preseason game. He got a goal and he looked sharp, he looked good. Today he didn't look sharp, but let's be honest, he has to climatize to this beast we call the English Premier League, and he will. It's only a matter of time that he's going to settle in and he'll get into the stride of things. Zubimendi, I think he had a decent game, a much better than Rice. Rice, he got done by Cunha. He got done by Cunha in the second half. The way he just turned and flicked the ball around Declan Rice and ran around him, he's not gonna want to watch that in playbacks because he made him look so schoolboyish. But that is the attack that Manchester are now. That's the attack that Manchester United are now. The fact that they've got Cunha, Mbeumo, all in one team. These guys are solid players. These guys are dangerous players. And the thing is why I still rate the Arsenal win. And of course I'm going to be biased. It's Arsenal I'm talking about. We've got a very tough start. And to get off by winning, that's a plus. When we look at our opposition, the people that we are trying to strive against from the Premier League title, you've got Man City. Man City played Wolves. Wolves lost Semedo, Wolves lost Cunha. So who's really there playing for them that's doing stuff? Nobody, right? And even there were times that Man City in that game don't look the greatest at the back. But look at the opposition. Look at Liverpool. 2 goals scored by Antoine Semenyo. He's their best player. Nobody else was playing well. Like, there was nobody else that was a threat from Bournemouth to Liverpool. Bournemouth have lost 3 players, one to Barcelona, one to PSG, and one to Real Madrid. They are not the same team. These are the teams that are probably facing relegation. We're talking about Wolves and Bournemouth. But the fact they've got Semenyo and he's firing well, he can actually, take these guys out the dirt. So the point I'm trying to make, without being too long-winded, is this. If Man United were playing against Man City or Liverpool, those games would have been different. Cunha, Mbeumo, Sesko and Bruno as an attacking force playing against you, best believe Man United and Liverpool Man City and Liverpool would not have had that luck against Man United. Arsenal had a tough game. We had tougher opposition. So our 3 points were well deserved. Some people might say, but look at Man City and Liverpool. Those guys were not really tested. And let's be honest, Bournemouth had a good chance, but they kind of crumbled at the end because Liverpool's got a fantastic attack. But back to Arsenal. The stars of the show, David Raya. What a keeper. And to be honest, when we brought in David Raya for Ramsdale, people were arms up. In pre-season, he looked a bit shaky, but it's pre-season. Today, Raya was the best player for Arsenal. His saves, his agility, his vision. He wasn't getting bullied by nobody. Whenever there was corners, he commanded his area. Unlike the opposition goalkeeper Bayinda, and we saw what a fluff and mess he made, and Calafiori got his goal. Calafiori played well, and I'm happy he started because there's been a lot of scrutiny. Look at me, because it's late I'm doing this video. There's been a lot of criticism for Martinelli, but you have to understand that Martinelli doesn't have anybody overlapping him. When Skelly's playing in that left position, he inverts. So then when the ball goes out to Martinelli, he's got no support. But Calafiori is so good. He really had a good game, and I pray he stays fit. I want him to have a wonderful season, and I'm happy to see the depth. The fact that after about the 70th minute, we're able to take off Calafiori and White, put on Timber and Skelly, and lock it down. Saliba and Gabriel, woof. First half a bit shaky, second half they were solid. Mbeumo and Cunha could not get past them. Saliba and Gabriel are solid unit. So guess what? Sometimes it's not about how pretty you play the game, but it's about getting the result, and Arsenal got the result. Yes, there's going to be criticisms on how we were going forward. On the transition, we were poor. We were not good on the transition. We were not capitalizing. Saka got a pretty good chance at the end. He skipped past 2 players, passed the ball to Madueke. He fluffed it. With Madueke, he didn't look too impressive, to be honest. He looked a bit clumsy on the ball. I don't think he knew what he was doing half of the time. But you know what? These players, they still need time to gel. I say give these guys till about October. And I think that's fair. Give them a couple of weeks to settle in. So if there's any positive to take away from the Arsenal game, we got the 3 points, but more importantly, we are a great defensive unit. And there are going to be games where we're not going to do well going forward, but we're doing well in the defense. There are going to be games that we might not do well in the defense, but we're doing well in the attack. But if I could choose anything, I would choose Arsenal to be having a great defensive structure any day. Do you know why? Because championships are won by having great defenses, and Arsenal have that locked down. It was a masterclass. It was a masterpiece to see. And to be honest, obviously I was nervous because first game of the season against Man United, it was a scary one for us. Then we've got Leeds, then we've got Liverpool. But getting past this will give us a bit of confidence. And I think it's a good sign. It's a good sign that you can play under par but still win. I think that is a good sign. But let me know what you think. And I think those are some of the positives, and I think those are some of the things that we learned. I think we've learned that Arsenal can play terribly but win games, and you do need a bit of that. It's a long season, and you do need times where you're not playing your best, but you're able to grind out results. You're able to stick it in. You're able to get together and put in a very doggish performance, and that is what Arsenal did. Another thing that we can also learn is that Arsenal are still lacking a bit of creativity, and Odegaard is still not at his top best, but he was doing a bit better. So whilst we still have 2 more weeks of the transfer window, I definitely say that Arsenal should definitely go for Eze to bring a bit of that creative edge. Eze scored a wonderful free kick against Chelsea, but it was ruled out because apparently there was a foul on Caicedo by Mark Gahey. But Eze looked good. Eze looked sharp. Eze would look great in an Arsenal shirt on that left, drifting into central positions. That would be great for Arsenal. So those are some of the things I think we learned from the Arsenal game as well. We also learned that Calafiori should probably start more games as an overlapping fullback because he's very good. He's a bit of a chaos merchant. He's unpredictable in his play, and he brought something different to the game, and he certainly scored a goal. Another thing that we learned is that with the other Premier League teams looking so good, Arsenal defense has to be tip-top, and what we saw today, Arsenal need to maintain that for the rest of the season. But if you're a Gooner, even if you're non-Gooner, let me know what you think in the comments. But until then, peace.